Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, late last night, I did a little flash video about the sort of love triangles that are going on within the SNP. And of course, they've got a long history of this. This is nothing new, but this is just the latest one that's set to rock the party. It's involving senior members by all accounts, and it's one of those where it seems that you just can't trust themselves. So how are we supposed to trust them from the outside? But we'll take a look at it. We'll go in now. At the moment, no names have been mentioned, but we are speculating. Of course, I said in my little flash video that we're free to speculate, and speculate we will. If you go to the comments on the little flash video, these people are throwing up names already. And some of them will actually make you throw up. So I suggested, for example, and of course I've got no evidence of it, it's just a little bit of fun here, cover myself, but I suggested it would be Beryl and Deirdre Brock. Now there's a marriage made in heaven. Anyway, we'll take a look at the story. I would say there's no names mentioned, however, but I'll do the however once we get into the main body of the piece. Here goes, and hold on to your lunch. So we'll go with this. Two SNP politicians had a seedy extramarital affair that broke Scotland's COVID lockdown rules. And you just know it's going to be really seedy, isn't it? Because they're very seedy people. They're not pleasant, are they? They're all a bit grubby. And you can just imagine sort of grubby fondlings in cupboards and the elevators and the back of cars and things, snatching whatever they can get from whenever they can get it, grabbing each other and then moaning that each other are married to people they don't really like. But then who else is you going to have you? If you're in the SNP, nobody really likes you. You only join the SNP because it's the only place some of these people are ever going to find love. Horrible people. Anyway, one aggrieved partner discovered incriminating messages on a mobile phone, but all concerned are under pressure to keep very quiet amid fears the story would generate further negative headlines for the Nats. Too late, it's out. Now, we don't know who it is, of course, but we just know it's there. And of course, it's going to be very negative. So it's best it does come out quickly because it will eventually come out. These things always do. You know, there's people in the party, there's other people who will know. And what happens is you get an aggrieved partner on the other side, perhaps, who said, right, I've had enough and blah, 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 and they go, and it will come out. So I think it's best, really, that they sort of stub this matter out now, release it all. They all just say, look, it's us, blah, 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 and then move on. But they're not going to, of course, because that's too much like telling the truth. Now, on that, I've got to say at this point, I have been given a name. Now, I'm not going to tell you the name. I know it's only the name of the one person. I've been given the name of a woman. I have no way of knowing whether this woman is actually the person or if it's just someone plying me along. Now, it could be, because let me put it this way. The person who gave me a name is a walk-in. It's not someone I've had contact with before. I've got no knowledge of who this person is. They've assured me that this is right, that they are in the party, and that they're not in the party, that they work and they know the person. I don't even want to try and identify the person who told me. Let's just say it's someone who is aware and is close to the source, if you like. And they have given me a name. Now, I don't know if this person is the person they claim to be. If they are, then I'm suspecting that the name is correct. I have got no way of verifying it. So if anyone else out there has the name and I can get a second confirmation of the same name, then I will be prepared to name the person. But I need a second confirmation. So if anyone does know, let me know. Like I say, it could be that I'm being set up. It could be someone is giving me this so that I go out and say it, and then they come after me and ruin me and whatever. So I'm not going to say it until I get a second independent confirmation. Like I say, but it's only one name. I don't know who the other person is. But there we go. The person who gave it to me said they know who it is. But, you know, it's very sneaky at the moment. So I'm not going to say anything because I could be completely wrong. It could be a setup. Or it could be right, but not without a second confirmation because I don't know who this source is. So Anyway, the two SNP politicians had an extramarital affair that was discovered by a furious, jilted partner. The relationship is said to have continued during the COVID pandemic in breach of lockdown restrictions. The Scottish Daily Express is aware of the identity of all those involved, but is not naming them. At this stage anyway, for legal reasons. One of the people who was cheated on has been spoken to by various media outlets, although there is said to be considerable pressure on them to not go public about the affair. I will go public if I'm told by a second person that this is definitely the person. However, not there yet. The individual concerned is believed to have discovered the illicit relationship between his partner and another married SNP politician after finding incriminating and highly personal messages on a mobile phone. The SNP have a problem with mobile phones, and it's very odd usually, because apparently they delete all their messages as a matter of course. But apparently not this one. Oh dear. A source close to the story said there were a lot of rumours about the affair, and the politician's other half was well aware of them, being the rumours, well aware of the rumours, but they didn't want to do anything without evidence. And it all came to a head when they found these texts and therefore the evidence. And of course then it all, boom, blows up. Now of course you've got this man, his wife having an affair with another politician in the SNP. Whether his wife knows about it, I mean, I'm making the assumption it's another man, of course. Just because it's a woman on one side who's married to a man doesn't mean, of course, that the affair was with another man. So, possibly. Anyway, whatever. I was making an assumption there. However, the other person I don't know. But the other person's partner, put it that way, you don't know how they're going to react if they find out, assuming they don't already know. But if they do already know, then maybe. Who knows? It's all up in the air at the moment. Anyway, so far in 2023, the Nats have already seen their commanding lead in the polls wiped out by Labour and have been hammered in the Rutherglen and Hamilton by-election. And they've seen a number of politicians quit or defect to rival parties as part of a simmering civil war which has been forced to U-turn on a string of policies. And of course, this affair coming out would be just another one in that long sort of train, long train crash, really. I was going to say long train of problems, long train crash of problems. Most notably, of course, there's also been the ongoing police investigation into allegations of large-scale fraud and embezzlement and general corruption within the party's finances. The extramarital relationship between the pair would also be a matter of public interest due to the fact that it appears to have been conducted in breach of Scotland's lockdown rules. For much of the first and second lockdowns in 2020 and 2021, it was illegal to mix with anyone from outside your own household, which means that they definitely broke the law and therefore must be punished by the authorities for breaking the law. You know, this is not a difficult thing to do. They've got to be named, they've got to be shamed, they've got to be prosecuted. If they broke the law, then there can be no excuse. Punish them. South of the border, down Mexico way, UK Health Secretary Matt Hancock was forced to resign in June 2021 after it emerged that he had been having an affair with Gina Colandangelo, an old friend from Oxford University who was working as an advisor at the Department of Health and Social Care. You wonder why. He seems a sleazy sod, doesn't he? And then proved it. And then he went into the jungle, didn't he? Oh, I'm prepared to travel all the way to Australia and eat unicorn testicles and things just to show people that I'm a human being. And he failed to do so. Even then, he was a smarmy, two-faced, odious toad. He didn't really improve his standing. So you have to wonder what... He must have something. He must have something. She was not unattractive. Hey, you know, maybe he's a very charming man in private, but he didn't come across that way. Anyway, at the time, the SNP said Mr. Hancock may have broken ministerial code by appointing Miss Colandangelo to a Whitehall role and called for an inquiry. Oh, good. They're going to stand by that, are they? Going to call for an inquiry over this lot? I suspect probably not. Nat MP Kirsten Oswald said, while aspects of this may be private, public appointments, use of taxpayers' money and conflicts of interest warrant proper scrutiny. Don't they just? I agree with you, Kirsten. They absolutely do. And so a full investigation on this matter must also occur as a matter of urgency. Her Westminster colleague, Tommy Shepherd, added, private matters are just that, but public appointments are another matter entirely, and they warrant proper scrutiny and full transparency. Again, Tommy Shepherd, I agree with you. Let's have a full investigation over these two philandering people who, we don't care about their personal philanderings, their personal peccadillos, what they want to do, where they want to put bits of themselves in other bits of other people is absolutely their business. However, is there a conflict of interest? Were their jobs not being done while they were busy fondling and groping and snogging in the stationery cupboard? Who knows? The Scottish Express understands that similar issues around conflicts of interest and cronyism are raised by extramarital affairs between the two SNP politicians, and so therefore the SNP must demand, as they have done before, that there is a full and public inquiry. Don't hold your breath. Since the affair began, both parties have seen major advances in their careers in the SNP, and they now occupy prominent positions in Scottish public life. And that does fit with the name of the woman I was given. But I'm not going to say any more. It would not be the first sex scandal to hit the SNP in recent years. Say it ain't so. A love triangle involving MPs Stuart Hosey and Angus MacNeil hit the headlines in 2016 after both men had affairs with Westminster journalist Serena Cowdy. Both MPs split from their wives as a result, while Mr Hosey and Miss Cowdy are now happily married. Good for them. Happy to see it. No problem. And of course, Hosey was with 86, wasn't he? He left her, mind you, I wouldn't surprise, she's a bit thick. And then she went off and was shagging someone else. It's all very incestuous in the SNP, you know. It's how they maintain their grip on power and each other. Anyway, the SNP declined to comment because they're hypocritical, and while they were asking inquiries into that, they don't want inquiries into their own shenanigans, for the want of a better word. The dirty shaggers want to just do it without any further scrutiny. Thank you very much. I'm coming up. That's what he said. So there we go. Lots of it going on, isn't there, in the SNP? And now the latest one is there, and they strangely are very silent, despite asking for inquiries on everyone else. But these names will come out, and I'm sure somebody out there in YouTube land, somebody can contact me, give me their name. If it's the same name as the one I was given, I will name it. I guarantee I will name it. I promise you, I will do that. I will do it carefully, but I will do it because I'm confident. I'm confident in it, but I've got to have I've got to have another source. I've got to have a secondary source. I can't go on one because I don't know who my source is. So if anyone gives me that name and it's the same bloody name, I will do it. I will name it. Anyway, I shall round off there. We can all go back to our early morning, whatever you do, your routine. I'm going to make another video. Then I'm going to have to go and take the dog for a walk. And freezing cold. It's -3 out there. He won't like that, but well, I mean, he'll like the walk, but I mean, he won't like the cold. So it'll just be a quick one to empty him. Then he'll be back in and be wanting a biscuit and a curl up at my feet. He does that. I'm definitely going to get another cup of tea. My central heating, it's early for me. I'm up early for some reason. My central heating's only just come on. The bloody house is freezing. So, yeah, I will definitely go and make a cup of tea. So, yeah, sorry, dragging this on. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button. Definitely keep an eye on this story. We will follow it up. And it's like I say, as soon as I get a name, I will definitely name the name. And then we can all point and ridicule and laugh. Nothing wrong with it. You know, if people want to do it, we're all grown-ups. But not like that. Not if there's a question of conflict of interest or, you know, anything that may be in the public domain as part of that relationship. Anyway, enough of that. See you soon. Bye.